It's the voice of Chillmonger and the voice of Mike.
It is my voice.
He's from Rogue Comics. Go shop there if you live in
All right.
Bridgeport, Connecticut. I thought you were going to say something afterwards.
Oh
Do you
no, that's
disagree?
that's
Should they
that's an
not?
old. Oh yeah, yeah, no, that's an old picture.
Ah, damn it. I
Yeah,
Googled. I thought I was
no, it's
being
all good.
slick.
Yeah, no, that was like when I first moved over here because I used to be next door. It was like a much smaller space. It was like I had literally a quarter of the size of this store.
Oh, that's the other photo that popped up. It was like
Yeah.
3002. The address was different.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes.
cool. Well, this page here is a tier ranking. It's pretty simple. At the last video that I did, I posted this little overlay where I said, these are the top 30 Marvel characters. Look where Black Panther is and Storm is. And that was a subjective list based off of my own opinion. I thought I'd get Mike here to keep me in check. I'm going to name a character, we'll rank them, and that's that. It's very simple. Thank you to who wrote this. Abigail is the one who created this. So if you guys want to follow that person, salute to them. It's 80 characters. We're not going to rank all 80. We'll keep it to the first up until this mark here when we get to, I guess, when we get to Blade. All right, Thor. Are we very behind? Is the company behind or slightly behind? I would say very. You?
I I agree with that only because well, it's kind of tied in with Donny Cates's recent personal issues. So I think maybe that's part of the problem. But
Well,
yeah, I mean, I would go very behind because apparently the team isn't. He's off Thor. He's off Hulk. Some stuff was happening in his personal life, and he couldn't do it anymore. So,
now you
but that
mentioned Donny Cates to mention how he's a top tier writer, and sometimes the creators that are put on the character matter.
it does. I mean, especially when you give Donny Cates two top
Hmm.
tier characters. That's you're really spreading. And not only that, but he did his. He was doing crossover. He did was it Vanish? I think it is with Stegman.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, so I mean, that's a lot of stuff, and I have a lot to say about it, but I won't because you want to keep it clean. So I mean, Claire, concise. That's just
yep.
the word I was looking for. So we'll go to the next
Well,
one.
I'm glad that was the C word that you were trying to find. Let's mix it up. Let's go to Ms. Marvel. Is the company very behind, or slightly behind Kamala Khan?
I would say behind.
And I would say slightly behind.
Yeah.
I
I
would.
think she still needs they need to get Adrian Alphona back on the book, man. I don't know where he is. He's in Canada somewhere. Can you go find him, please?
Bro, again, you bring it back to the creators. Think about how G. Willow Wilson could do. The first volume was 18. The second volume was like 30 something. Look, 50 in total. She had this comic book character for 50 issues
Yeah.
and doesn't work for the company anymore. Well, if that's the case, then that must mean you don't see much value in G. Willow Wilson. They did not ever get behind this character. It was always a slightly behind. Oh, thank God she took off.
Okay. I see the okay. I get the tier now. Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Got
man,
it.
I did a horrible job of explaining the criteria.
Okay.
I do realize that.
Yeah. 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 Oh, then no. I would. Yeah. Is there one after underneath, slightly behind? Because I would think that they weren't at all. Otherwise, they would put good writers on there.
You see here where there's a Spider Ham and Tigra that they're not even
Yeah.
worth, they're that's why they're not even going to be someone that we rank. Or Drax. I'm not going to pretend they're slightly behind Drax.
Well, Cantwell tried pushing Tigra, and I mean, oh, sorry, not Tigra. It was Hellcat. My
Hellcat.
bad. Yeah, yeah,
Hellcat's all
yeah,
the way down there too with
yeah. Okay.
Mockingbird.
Yeah,
Let's go
yeah,
to
yeah.
Captain America. Is this someone the company is very behind?
I would say yes. I mean, the fact that I guess Sam is Captain America again too. So then they keep doing a Steve book, so they must be behind him. I mean, you're talking about Steve as Cap, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was
Yeah,
Steve. So here's
yeah.
Falcon, Sam Wilson. Do we
I don't
put
reckon.
him?
Who is that character? Is that? Oh wait, you mean Captain America?
Oh, God.
I would no. I would say behind. I mean, if they're dude, they're in on they're pushing him as Captain America. Apparently, they don't like him as Falcon. He's
Okay.
like, so yeah, I would say they're behind him. I mean, if they weren't, they wouldn't. He wouldn't have his own book.
I extremely disagree, but that's fine.
Especially when you have a Steve Rogers Captain America book too. That's really bizarre. It's really
Mm.
bizarre.
Are they behind Nightcrawler?
Oh
Totally.
God, they just gave him horns, dude. So I would say no because they don't want to. They want to tank him. I don't know what the deal is. Like, why would you give him horns? Like,
Is Nightcrawler not the primary character of his own series of a team book in the X Men?
He is one of the main characters in what is it? It's not X-Men Red.
It's not Way of X,
Yeah, no, it's Way of X. It's
is
Way
it?
of X. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
It was called Way of X. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. They're behind this guy. They've been behind him. If you look at the last 4 or 5 years,
Well, I think
he's
they're guilty because they feel they've killed him a couple times. So yeah,
Nightcrawler is important. That's someone that Marvel Comics respects.
but they don't write
Miss
him well. But they don't write him well though. But go ahead. Okay.
Reed Richards, I would say he's in that top 10. Would you?
Yes. Well, yeah. They recently relaunched the Fantastic Four book, so I would say yes.
Who's writing the Fantastic Four book now?
North.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Yep.
Rogue from Rogue Comics. Are they very behind, or slightly behind? I would say that it's behind, especially for that book, that Stephanie Phillips books that I don't think you recognize, but I will recognize it. She's always got a series bringing it back to that Mike Carey X-Men legacy, and she was kind of the main character there. Since then, she got married to Gambit. I know you don't want to recognize it, but she got married to Gambit. She had her book with Kelly Thompson. She's always just been in the forefront.
I wouldn't say behind. I would say, oh, actually, no. Okay, yeah. Yes, they are behind on her. No, wait. They're slightly behind on her. They're not very behind. They're slightly behind because You're
going to change that. Well, the more names we list here, you'll change it because like Black Bolt is next. You're going to tell me Black Bolt should be above Rogue? No.
Right. Well, no, but hold on, because I'm trying. It's I'm gonna. It's inside baseball, but it's like 3:30 in the morning, so I'm trying to wrap my head around these tiers. But they don't. I feel they only use her to make people like Gambit because they want to tap into that nostalgia thing where we had that agenda-driven cartoon designated or designed to push the narrative that Gambit was a character worth investing in, and he's not. He's one of the worst characters in Marvel Comics history. So that's why they keep putting her in books with him. So I don't think they're behind her. I think they're behind Gambit, and they're just using her as an avenue to get people to say, hey, Gambit's cool.
Okay. We got Iron Man.
Yeah, they keep giving him a book, dude. I mean, before Robert Downey Jr., he was like a C or D list character, and then they elevated him to the A because of the movies. But the comics have been.
You don't think Secret Invasion helped or Civil War helped? Wasn't that before the Iron Man movie in 2008?
It was more of the circumstances. Dude, Iron Man is a boring character. Like he builds armor. Yay, he has. Let's
bring it back to the creators. The last few years, it's been Dan Slott covering Iron Man. Bendis
bad.
Bendis was bad.
Bendis is always bad.
Did Matt Fraction cover him also?
I believe so. Yeah, I want to say yes.
Jerry Duggan is doing him now, and Jerry Duggan's an X-Men writer, been around the block. They are treating him like he's valuable.
Yes, they are.
Alex Ross covers.
Yeah. That's why I said very behind. Yeah, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that because they keep giving him a book. So yeah, they have to be very behind him. Otherwise, he would have had one book and that would have been it.
Are they behind Namor? Slightly behind Namor?
They are behind Namor. Namor currently has a 5-issue limited series. Unfortunately, it's set in the future though. But I have been selling it based on Wakanda Forever. So
yeah, they have been using Namor and featuring him enough times. I would give him that.
And apparently, in the spoiler alert for the last issue of Captain America, the Steve Rogers one, apparently they're going to have the Invaders in there. So he might be making an appearance in there too.
I'd say Daredevil's top 10. Do you? Chip Zdarsky is writing him. And I know you're saying they put Chip Zdarsky on him before he became Chip Zdarsky.
Yeah.
But they haven't taken him off. And he did do Devil's Reign. And Marco Cicchetto's pretty damn good of an artist. Historically, the best of the best have been writing Daredevil. And I would say that Daredevil is a top 10 treated
except for Marvel. Bendis. But yes, okay. Yeah, I agree with you.
Speaking of Bendis, since Brian Michael Bendis left Miles, who's been writing him? Saladin Ahmed, Cody Ziegler.
Yeah. I can't get behind that. And I don't think Marvel has either. Marvel, the problem with Miles is, and this started with Bendis, they have not given Miles his own identity. He needs stories that are his. I think the stories that they've given him, they're retreads of stuff that Peter like Solomon did the Solomon, I think that's how you whatever the last dude that wrote it, he did the Clone Saga, and like you could tweak it and all that, but like
I'm with you.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, give them original stories, do new things. Like, you know, I mean, you can borrow elements from that stuff, but if you're doing a straight, you know, he's been done dirty. He's been done dirty. I don't know why.
Scott Summers, I give him top 10.
I would like to give him top 10, but I'm still, dude. Back in 2016, they intentionally like kept pushing the narrative that Cyclops was a dick. And I think even in Hickman's the Krakoa stuff, I mean, he wasn't necessarily the mutant Captain America that he should be, because he should be the leader of the X-Men. Everybody should follow him.
I would put him in the top 10 for that reason. You don't, but I'll still put him in like here. He'll be on the very left side, which is very primary.
Okay.
Scarlet Witch is a character. I feel they're slightly behind her.
No, dude, her book just came out last week.
Written by who? Steve Orlando?
Yes.
Is that a top tier creator?
He thinks he is.
All right. So are they behind or slightly?
The artwork is by Sarah Pichelli, though.
That sounds like you're behind.
I mean, they are behind, and they're also behind because WandaVision came out a year or 2 years ago? Was it 2 years? A year? Yeah, whenever it was, it's been a while, and they've been very like. There was literally like They did the trial of Magneto or whatever, which was literally all about Scarlet Witch, but they haven't really utilized her in the way like you would think. Hey, we have
just like what you said for the Namor book, because it was in a movie. They put Namor in a comic. Then they should definitely do that. You
would think that you have a character who's popping off on the TV. You want to get some tie-ins going, or you want to have like, you know, when people go, hey, because I can't tell you how many people have. Do you have anything with Scarlet Witch in there? I had to give them like old issues of West Coast Avengers because I had like the Vision and Scarlet Witch series and stuff like that. It took them forever to reprint that stuff too. Wow. It's like they're not on top of this stuff. And James Gunn says somebody asked him about that, and he says he was going to try to work with DC Comics more to have that sort of, you know, that synchronicity.
Synergy.
Yes.
I agree with that. And I like James Gunn for a lot of what he's doing.
Yes.
The Wolverine, easily a top 10.
Except for the 5 years where they killed him.
X-23.
Thank you for saying that. Yes.
Yeah, the word actually says Wolverine in the title up there. That's funny. God. Well, if Wolverine's top 10, Wolverine's top 10. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, just give them a name, and there they go. Yeah.
I would still say they are behind this character.
Yeah, they are.
The Beast. They're behind Beast.
I don't know what's happening with him and Wolverine. Like, there's an evil Beast in there, but it's not Dark Beast from the Age of Apocalypse. He like killed Wolverine or something and was doing something with his skeleton. It was really weird. I only looked at it because Juan Jose Rip did the art, and I like his art. But I don't know what Percy's doing, man. But so I mean, at least he's in there, so they would have to be behind him.
He's always been featured. He was a main character of that X-Force from Ben Percy. That's still going on.
Yep. He's the reason we got all the teenage X-Men in the present. Thank you, Bendis.
Yep. If we go back 10 years, sure. Mm-hmm. I think it's fair for us to go back 10 years, but not any more than that. That'll be ridiculous.
All new, all different. Yeah.
Here comes the main reason I'm doing this video, as you can imagine.
Oh, no.
Black Panther. Are they very behind Black Panther with John Ridley? I mean, they got Alex Ross doing the covers. Could you say that they're very behind Black Panther?
I can, because the interiors are not up to Alex Ross's standards. This is the thing I feel bad about, because for me, if it was me, I would have like George Perez and Frank Cho and even Rip. I mean, do every single book. I mean, but I do like different styles of art. But like the art in Black Panther for the past couple of runs,
it's really Peralta, right?
Yeah, it's been really subpar for me. And the writing, I mean, Ridley.
Agreed. They're not behind. They're slightly behind, because where is John Ridley's? Where like the guy is penned his final comic, not penned, penciled his last. No, not penciled. He's inked it. No.
What's scripted? Typed. Yeah.
He typed his final comic.
He word processed his final comic.
And where is John Ridley on any of these characters? Is John Ridley the next guy who writes Thor? Donny Cates is leaving. Hulk has an opening. Is John Ridley the guy who they give that to? No, they don't. They're not behind. They're slightly behind.
To be fair, he is still writing.
Batman.
Yes, the Lucius Fox son Batman.
Again, you see with a little asterisk, it's the
Yeah.
alternate Batman.
Yeah.
If that
Well,
makes
no. Well, he's black. The Batman is black, so you need a black writer to do that. That's how this
yeah,
works. You don't know? Come on.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say the good
But I
thing
agree
about the
with you.
Black Panther, though, he does have like series called the Wakanda series. He's kind of like the president of that portion of Marvel. And if you are big enough to have series within your series,
Mhm.
I will just give them behind.
Oh, Wakanda, yeah. Wakanda, they've had there's 2 stories in each issue. There's one that's current that features the character that's on the cover. The
Mhm.
last one I think was M'Baku. And then in the back, there's a backup feature telling the history of the Panthers.
The Phoenix, Jean Grey, are they slightly behind, or very behind?
I would say I would they keep using her. So, I mean, I would say behind. I would say behind. I mean, I almost want to say very behind because I mean, but she was gone for a while.
But
Like she
since
was
she
dead for like
returned in 2018 by Matthew Rosenberg,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
put her up there, but she'll probably be brought
Move
down.
her
You'll
down.
see.
Yeah, yeah, eventually.
The Venom. Lately,
Um,
I would give him top 10. Do you?
really?
You-
I wouldn't because the stories aren't really that good. I mean, Ram V is, I guess, Ram V and
Al
um, uh,
Ewing.
yeah, and the stories aren't really like they're. I don't know. It's because it's Dylan and Eddie is off doing something else or something. He has part of them, or like I don't even know. I mean, after what Donny Cates did with Venom, like it's kind of lacking.
Does that mean that Marvel's not behind them? They still put Al Ewing behind this character.
And Ram V, who's coming up because of Swamp Thing, yeah. So
So
I guess yeah, I would go with behind. Top 10. That would be a little too extreme, but behind, yeah. I mean, they even wedged him into the dark web thing that's going on too.
Moon Knight, slightly behind.
Yeah, yeah.
Shang-Chi, slightly behind. They got the Gene Yang, what's his name? But he's been doing like five-part limited series.
But they keep doing them though, dude. So I would
Yeah.
say behind.
Hey, do the number ones sell well? And then like
Kind
the 2, 3,
of.
4, 5. Okay.
Kind of, yes, yes. But then see 2, 3, and 4, 2, 3, 4, and 5 drop off.
But you know this as like an expert in this number one game. So you
Yes.
know not to order too many issue 2, 3, 4s, and 5s.
Correct. But see, sometimes also it creates a if something significant happens in issue number 2, that can become worth a lot more faster because a lot of the retailers see when we order something, we order everything 2 months in advance.
Yeah.
And then by the time when the solicitation or the FOC for issue number 2 comes out, number 1 still hasn't come out. So we don't know how many we're going to sell. So if we order, say, 50 number 1s or whatever, it'd be stupid to order 50 number 2s expecting the same amount to sell. So some people cut it down to 25, some will cut it down to 15, whatever. And that creates a lower number of issues that were printed for issue number 2. Thereby, if something significant happens, it makes it worth more because there are less of those issues around.
That is such a game that I don't want to play. Magneto is a villain. He shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, he's kind of not necessarily. He's sort of kind of good. Kind of. He's an X-Men Red now with Storm. They were terraforming Mars and stuff. I mean,
is Storm somebody that they're very behind?
Well, they gave her. She's
got Al Ewing. She doesn't have her own solo series, but she does have a valuable position within the X-Men.
X-Men Red, yes. She's the queen of Mars, dude. So yeah.
Well, Black Panther was the head of the Avengers too, and that really didn't amount to much. But okay, we'll go. They're very behind Storm. Now here comes the Spider-Man, and this will be our final in the top 10. I should move him all the way to the left.
He's right there.
You had to say Peter. You had to. Did you really just differentiate him from Miles?
I did.
Okay, here's another Peter, Star-Lord. Is he top 10? Nope.
No.
Are they behind? Are they slightly behind?
Although, oh God, what's their names? Lansing and I can't remember what his other dude, the partner. They're going to be doing a new Guardians of the Galaxy in April, I think, or May. It's going to be like a Western type thing. So they are bringing all the Guardians back. Groot, Rocket, Star-Lord.
Colin
Gamora.
Kelly, Jackson Lanzik.
There you go.
Artist is
Kelly.
Kev Walker, coming April 12th.
Yeah, Kev Walker's not bad. Sometimes.
So is that a vote of confidence? Is the company behind? That's the thing. He's a
Oh,
team. He's a team guy, so he kind of represents the whole team.
yes, and also though, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 in May. So yeah, that would be that synergy we were talking about.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say behind. Yeah.
The Silver Surfer, slightly.
Yeah. Yeah.
She-Hulk, slightly.
Well,
Rainbow Rowell.
She's in the Rainbow, and Jen Bartel does the covers though, and Takashi Miyazawa, I think it is, does the art, and sometimes it looks good, but I don't know if it's because of the anchor or whatever, but sometimes it doesn't. But it's a series; it's not a mini series, so I would say they would be behind her.
In the last 10 years, how many comic series has She-Hulk had? None. She was in the Avengers team for the last 4, but like She-Hulk is on and off in her history. Like she's, Dan Slott did something with her.
Yeah,
hasn't really been primary. I think they're slightly behind this character. You can change my mind, or we can at least agree she's over here on the edge of slightly behind.
Yeah, I would say there. That's fine.
Nova.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Move Surfer up too. Surfer. I would say Surfer is above. Yeah, right there. Yeah, because I mean he had Dan Slott. Dan Slott did a run with him, and then they did do the miniseries with Tradmore. Did the Silver
Tradmore, with Donny Cates. So they do care about Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
This guy here, it says Nova. It looks like the black helmet, so it looks like Sam Alexander. I'll accept whether it's Sam or whether it's Richard. It's more of a slightly behind.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
The Ant-Man looks like Scott Lang to me. I would say they're slightly behind Ant-Man also.
Yes.
More than Kamala.
Yeah.
The Invisible Woman from the Fantastic Four. Very hard to rank the Fantastic Four. Maybe I shouldn't for the sake of this.
Yeah. They're all together.
Yeah.
Although even though the Thing, he had his own miniseries recently. It was I can't remember, Ryan Brown, I think, or Brown, somebody named Brown. The artwork in there was really good too. But yeah,
I like the covers.
He had something that Sue and Reed and Johnny didn't have, which was
if we were ranking the Fantastic Four characters, I would say all of them would squeeze into the top 30 of Marvel characters. I think so. The Black Widow. Kelly Thompson's been writing her series, but she doesn't always have a series. They are slightly behind this character.
Yeah, slightly. Yeah.
We go to the Captain Marvel. Same writer. Kelly Thompson takes care of this character. They've gone 40 issues deep with this character, so I can't say they're not slightly behind. I would say that they're firmly behind the character. Now, what do they do with Kelly Thompson after this? If you are good enough, similar to Kamala Khan, if you as a writer are dandy enough to be writing this character and go 50 issue run, all right, you're not a nobody. You're someone that we paid for 50 straight months. You now need to be working on one of these guys, or you're just hiring her and keeping her for surface level reasons.
Yeah. Well, I think part of the problem, and I don't know if they do, because they don't have. You can't find out the numbers anymore. There's no
oh my god, I was just talking about that. You're right.
Oh yeah. There's no way to find it, and I don't know. I don't like because you might like something that I don't, and vice versa. So I don't like being definitive about stuff, which a lot of people on YouTube have no such problem. But like, I can just judge it by how many I sell. Like this whole manga narrative, like I don't sell much manga at all. And I don't know if it's because of the vibes I'm giving off or whatever.
Spare me the manga rants. We've done this before.
But what I'm saying though is I'm basing this. So like, for instance, Captain Marvel, I do order 2 copies, and I sell 1. That's it. 1.
And the others for shelves. And it never sells out.
Yeah, it never sells out. It never sells out. Even when they do like, little, like it ties in or something, like nothing. So based on that, like, I even have problems selling Deadpool. I don't know, like, where all these Deadpool set. Like when I first bought the store, the guy that owned it before me didn't want to carry Chew. He didn't want to carry Morning Glories. He didn't want to carry like Fables. And I'm like, dude, like, why not? Those were all in the top 10 list at the time. This is like 10 years ago, 12 years ago. And he's like, oh, because it won't sell. So when I got it at the store, I'm like, hey, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to order whatever I want. It's my store now. So I did it, and
it didn't sell.
It didn't sell.
So it's like, you think was going to happen? Come on now.
But dude, like, I mean, you got to give it a shot though. Like, I mean, so I've ordered manga and I have a stack of it now. So like, why bother? Why continue? What is it? Was it Einstein said it? Like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. Like it's gonna happen. So I don't know if it's because of the writers or because of the character or the stories. I mean, there was a Deadpool story where I think it had something to do with Russia and Chernobyl or something like that. And it was a serious Deadpool is like always chimichanga this and breaking the fourth wall that, but this was like a really super serious story. I think it was Jerry Dugan that wrote it, and even there were a couple customers told me like they at the end of it they were crying, and that's how
Damn.
serious it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So I mean, I guess if you have this is the thing, if you have a good writer, it will bring. If you write it, they will come. If you have good writers, if you don't, nobody's gonna care.
The last writer for Deadpool was, funny enough, Kelly Thompson. It's like 3 characters in a row she took care of. Before
Yeah.
that, though, yes, you're right. Jerry Duggan was on him. There were a couple of times he was featured. Importantly, I think he was in Black Panther versus Deadpool. Christopher Cantwell might have wrote that one. I would say that he's constantly appearing. The movies help. They are
Mhm.
behind this character, Deadpool.
But see, I would say slightly behind because there
Okay.
was a time where, like during when like with the Krakoa stuff, like he wasn't around. He didn't have a
He's
book
not a
for a
mutant
while.
either.
True, but I mean, when you think of the X-Men, it's Deadpool. Deadpool's part of the X. He's part of the X universe, even though he's not a mutant.
He was in the Uncanny X-Force, and that's what's tricky about team members like a Deadpool, part of
Yeah.
the X-Men, and Fantastic Four members. It's kind of hard to say. So I can easily say this guy, Reed Richards, is top tier, but
Yeah.
it's hard for when we get to the team members. Who
Yeah.
else is here? We're at Hawkeye. They're
Hawkeye.
slightly behind Hawkeye, Thunderbolts, as well as the Matt Fraction run that happened within the last decade.
Yep. The
They're
Matt Fraction one was brilliant, and Thunderbolts just ended. So the
Luke-
5-issue miniseries. The 5-issue miniseries.
Luke Cage is someone they're behind, right?
No,
He's the
I
mayor.
would say no. I would say slightly behind. Well, they made him the mayor, but he also was going to have a 30th anniversary miniseries that they canceled. So I would say slightly behind.
Yep.
Well, actually, I would say very.
Look, we don't know what was inside that series. It was happening at a tumultuous time. I think it was right around the elections, and if possibly the elections and the nonsense happening in your country was too similar to the series here, protests and whatnot, I would say that they did the right thing by pulling it just to avoid controversy. I have no idea why they pulled it though, so I'll
Could
just leave
be,
it
yeah.
there.
Okay.
Wonder Man, he's not white. He's supposed to be black. This is I don't think he's on this list at all.
Hashtag not my Wonder Man. Yeah,
not my Wonder Woman.
I don't think they've used him in a while.
No. Vision, I would say they're not even slightly behind this guy either. We saw him in Avengers No Road Home, yeah?
Yeah, they're behind Scarlet Witch more than him.
Yeah, you're not in that list. Sorry. So Quicksilver. Are we at the end of our list? Quicksilver, Human Torch. We're not ranking any Fantastic Four members.
Yeah, no.
Archangel, we could say that they're slightly behind him, no? Punisher, they're slightly behind Punisher. They put Jason Aaron behind him.
I would say behind. They gave him, like you said, Jason Aaron series, and what's his name? Sais, I think is his name. Yeah. Whoever the artist is really good. But then I guess he got behind, so they have like 2 different styles of art now. One's telling a backup story, and the other one's telling the current story. But in the interim, they've also given him a couple of one-shots, so they are behind him.
We go to Wasp.
That's weird.
She's not really that important. I'm sorry. Like she was part of the Iron Man book for a bit. They don't put her in any. This is the Nadia Wasp, by the way. But let's just pretend it says Janet Wasp.
Oh, okay.
I don't give.
In that case, yeah, I agree with that.
No,
right. Yeah, if you're talking about Janet, but I mean they gave her a series and like they have utilized her in the other one. But yeah, it's not an important character. Continue.
Blade is part of the Avengers. Before that, he was kind of meandering.
Yes, and now he's about to get a daughter, so you might want to bump that up. Probably
to behind?
Like around Silver Surfer, hovering around Silver Surfer, She-Hulk.
I disagree, but okay.
Really, the fact that he's in the Avengers,
he is
right.
That's like a short stint that he's been in the Avengers. Before that, he was nowhere to be seen.
Agreed.
Putting him in a team book called the Avengers is not necessarily like us a sign that they support him. It's more so, oh look, our team is all white. We need some people who are not white. So we'll do the
Agreed.
diversity thing. That's what it is. They're slightly behind him, but if I would even say they're not behind him. But okay, I will listen to you. That's what your opinion is here for. If not, I would have been doing this video alone. The Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, are they behind him? Slightly behind him?
Yeah, I would say behind. I mean, they recently gave him a one shot that's supposed to change his
one
character.
shot?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no, because he was part of the Captain America series too, so he was in there.
I disagree. I would say slightly.
I don't think I see it like right where you had it, like because he's definitely above Deadpool.
No, I disagree. Hey, everyone who's been watching this video all the way to the 30th minute, Winter Soldier should not be above Deadpool. Tell Mike he's wrong. Thank you very much. We got Colossus and Iceman. They are slightly behind Colossus. I'll put him next to his Silver brother here. They are.
Excuse me. You're being colorist right now. Okay, don't just put them that because they're both silver.
Everyone who shines is slightly behind. Iceman too.
Oh God, I don't even want to. I'm not touching Iceman. Sorry.
Well, they gave Iceman a series a couple times.
They did and
recently.
That was not good. Not good. Yeah.
I think they feature him enough so that I could say that they at least think about him. He's not the first thought, but he's also not an afterthought either. He's someone considered.
I think that Jean Grey and Brian Michael Bendis both character assassinated Iceman.
I know exactly the page that you're talking about. So that would be it. I think that is all the characters who are worthwhile. They're not behind Ghost Rider or Hercules or Nick Fury or Groot or Machine, Spider-Woman, Human. Like that's it.
Actually, Ghost Rider, they've done. I mean, I'm not getting into the specific Ghost Riders, but yeah, he has a series. He has a series currently, and he had I think a one shot before then, and he had a bunch of miniseries. And he was in that Donny Cates thing. It starts with a D. I can't remember. It was Doctor Strange, Ghost Rider.
Oh, Damnation.
Damnation. There we go. Yes, he was in that. So yeah, he's been pretty constant.
So the characters are all down here who are villains, so I don't really rank them. And then there's the Fantastic Four, Drax, Elektra. I'm not counting Mantis.
Elektra's in Daredevil.
Would you say they're slightly behind her or behind her?
Yeah, I mean they keep using her, so they brought her in there. I mean, she was in she was in Savage Avengers too. Savage Avengers, she was good in there.
But look at the quality of these books.
I know.
Savage Avengers. Yes, they did use her in the Daredevil. When before they used her in the Daredevil, where was she to be seen?
She was in Savage Avengers too.
That's nothing. So are they behind her or are they slightly behind her?
I would say behind. They moved. They graduated her to Daredevil. They didn't have to put it. Zdarsky didn't have to put her in Daredevil.
I got you. And then we got
Silk.
They're not behind Silk. I refuse to rank Silk in this list.
They keep giving her miniseries though. I mean, I wish they would be better drawn, and
they don't care about Mockingbird or Valkyrie or Spider-Ham or Tigra or Emma Frost is kind of a villain. I won't counter. They don't use this Captain Britain. They use another
what's her
Captain.
name does. God, what's her name? Leah Williams. She's in they keep putting her in the what was it, Excalibur, and then there was something after that.
If Leah Williams is on you as a comic book character, is the company behind the comic book character? If Leah Williams, or if the X-Men comic series have like 10 different books, and you're not in the top 5, you're not Rogue.
Let me tell you this: Excalibur and the series that came after it,
Knights of X,
yes, did not sell at all, and they're giving her another book. Now they didn't sell it all out of all the X books; those sold the least.
Are you talking about they gave her another book, as in Leah Williams, or her the character?
They gave her a book to do the character of Betsy Braddock and bring in all the Captain Britain stuff and all that stuff again. So either Marvel is behind Leah Williams or Marvel is behind the idea of Captain Britain.
When I see, look, whoever made this list did not feature her. All right, boom. So now that we've completed this sort of tier, we got our top 10 characters. Is Storm really above Cyclops? I would vehemently disagree with that. And then Venom also. I think that they're very behind Venom and Cyclops. And this is why I invited you. Okay. How white is this list? Caucasian, green, white, black. So in the top 10, 1 out of 10 characters is black.
Mhm.
Let's go here to the next, I guess it would be 14. And we got someone called Falcon, who you say is behind. I would not even feature him in the top 30, but you say that they're behind
Really?
Falcon.
Well, they keep using them, so they have to be.
Who are the creators that they put on the character?
I don't disagree. I'm saying they keep using the character though.
Because he keeps appearing in the MCU, and they, for the
Yeah.
synergy that we talked about when we opened
Yes.
this, they'll
Yep.
feature Falcon.
Yeah.
If there was no MCU, there would be no desire to be using the Falcon character to make money. They're not behind him. They are following Kevin Feige's lead. Their support that this character has from the comic book publisher company is not strong enough to be up here, in my opinion. You don't think that? That's cool.
Chill. No, chill. Choir. I completely agree with you.
Mhm.
I agree, and I don't across the board, not just for black characters or Hispanic or whatever. I don't like the level of writing they have currently at all, and it bothers me that I can't get the hard, because I can sit here and you can sit here all day like, well, you know what? I don't think, Captain Marvel, and I don't think Star-Lord, whatever, but we don't have the hard facts, which are the numbers. The numbers will tell the absolute story.
Which we have no access to, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Damn.
And that's what annoys me, because
Yeah, it does.
there should not be 3 Betsy Braddock books. I'm sorry. There shouldn't be. But that they keep doing it. Now, is it because of Brian? I don't know. But there shouldn't be. If they feel they need to cancel one early and then does Leah Williams have never mind. Okay. So
Thank you.
yes.
Thank you. Okay, we got Black Panther and Falcon. Who are they more behind? Panther or Falcon?
I would say I don't know. I mean, they made Falcon Captain America. So, I mean, I know that's pandering, but I would say Falcon.
Are they more behind X-23 than they are Falcon?
No. I would
Okay.
say no.
So you got Falcon. There is Namor. Who are they more behind? Namor, Nightcrawler, or Scarlet Witch?
I would say Scarlet Witch, then Namor, then Nightcrawler. Yeah.
Who else? Who should be advanced? Who's a little bit low? Should Elektra be raised? Should Winter Soldier be raised? Punisher, Captain Marvel? I feel like everyone is within their place.
No, it's fine. Yeah.
And then why even rank this? This is just people they're slightly behind. So if we count 10, then 10 again, and then 14. 24. Out of the top 24 characters, we got 1, 2, 3 people who are not white. There's a lot of more blue representation than you would think there is. Shout out to the green representation also down here. We got the silver representation as well. There's just a lot of would you put Blade up here actually? Is Blade high enough to be on Colossus's level or Silver Surfer?
I think Blade would be higher than both Colossus and Silver Surfer.
Oh, well, is anyone here that should be raised? Rogue? I think they treat Rogue way better than they treat Blade.
I don't think so. Because and I say that because I'm not currently collecting a book that features Rogue, even though she's in a book. So even with when she was in the X-Men, the writing it wasn't there for me. It wasn't. I just so.
Hey guys, that's our list of roughly 40 characters, 40-ish
in 40 minutes.
Yeah, in 40 minutes.
40 and 40. You're like ESPN.
Let us know exactly how you feel about this list. I've been Shillmonger. That's been Mike from Rogue Comics, and we're outie.